What do you do when you're sitting at home bored? All the toys laying around are no longer entertaining enough, and you just need something new. This was the problem that Judy and Peter had one afternoon when they were left home alone. But what they did with their time was a little bit more than what they were ready for. Jumanji by Chris Van Allsburg is a great story with thrill and adventure. Chris Allenberg also does all of his own illustrations. I'm going to show you my favorite picture of this story. This is a picture of when the monkeys come in the room. They're in the kitchen destroying it up. And it's my favorite picture just because of the monkeys, and it gives you the details of what's happening in the story, and on every page there's a different picture to go along with the book, and it just gives you more details of what the story is about. Jumanji has two main characters, Peter and Judy. All we really know about them is that they are brother and sister. The story takes place in their house in just a couple of different rooms, and then it takes place a little bit in the park across the street. It is set in November, and there are leaves on the ground at the park. Peter and Judy are two kids that are left home for the afternoon while their parents go to the opera. The one thing that they are supposed to do when their parents are gone is keep the house neat. Once the parents leave, however, Peter and Judy get all their toys out of the toy chest and have them all over the room. It's a disaster. But then they decide that they are bored even with all their toys. They have the idea to go outside and play. While playing in the leaves, they find a game placed under a tree that says the game is free, and they just have to make sure to read the instructions. They decided they might as well try out the new game. They read all the directions, and the very last one says, very important, once the game of Jumanji is started, it will not be over until one player reaches the golden city. Peter's a little unsure about the game at first. He thinks it will be boring and be no better than any other game they have in the house. They begin to play the game, but they have no idea what they are in for. On the first roll, Peter lands on a space that says, "Lion attacks, move back 2 spaces." Next thing they know, there's a lion laying on the piano right behind Peter. When Peter falls off his chair, the lion chases him around the room. He no longer thinks this game is boring, but he just wants to quit now. With every turn, there's a new dangerous adventure waiting, but they cannot stop until someone reaches the golden city, or the lion will never leave. If you want to know how these two kids survive all the adventure and see if they can finish the game before their parents come back home, read Jumanji by Chris Van Allsburg. I know I enjoyed reading this book and seeing what the kids were in store for with each turn they took. This has helped me learn that before using anything, you should find out what it is all about, because you'll never know what you are in for, and you'll never know what something is just lying around.